As the movie begins, we realize that the entire world has come to an end. We then see a girl named Anne Burden. She gathers some supplies she needs to survive and heads back to her house. The whole city is filled with radiation, but the place where Anne lives is safe from it. She lives completely alone. To protect herself from any danger, Anne always keeps a gun with her, and she also has a dog as her companion. One day, while Anne is wandering outside, she spots a vehicle. Seeing it, she realizes that someone else is still alive. She searches everywhere for that person and finally finds him. His name is John Loomis. When John sees the gun in Anne's hand, he assumes she's there to kill him. But Anne warns him, "Don't bathe in that water, it's full of radiation, get out now." He quickly gets out of the water, but by then his health has deteriorated, and he starts vomiting. John has some medicine that can help him recover. He gives an injection to Anne and asks her to inject him with it. She does, and since John is too weak, Anne takes him to her house and looks after him carefully. Anne becomes curious about John and wants to know more about him. So she checks his vehicle and finds some photographs. One of them shows John with a woman, and assumes that woman must be his wife. Now that she's no longer completely alone, and feels relieved, but also prays for John to recover soon, she needs another person's help to survive. After a few days, John slowly starts to recover, and shows him photos of her father and brother, and tells him they went searching for any other survivors, but never came back. The next day, John sees Anne working in the garden, doing everything by hand. He tells her, "You could use the tractor, it would be easier." Anne replies, "You're right, but there's no fuel." John says he saw a gas station on his way here, and tells him, "Without electricity, you can't pump out the fuel." John smiles and says, "I can get the fuel without electricity." Later, he manages to extract the fuel from the gas station, and is thrilled to see it. John tells her, "When all this happened, I was in a facility. I had a protective radiation suit. I didn't want to stay there alone, so I went out to search for other survivors. But except for you, I didn't find anyone." And then asks, "What about your wife? I saw her in your photos." John says, "She's not my wife. I loved her once, but now she's far away from me." The next day, Anne and John go fishing. John feels relaxed for the first time in a long while, and tells him that her father used to bring her to this place to fish so they could survive, and they would store the fish to eat later, but now there's no power to preserve them. "We have a generator," Anne says, "but it's broken." After checking the generator, John gets an idea. "We can generate power using the waterfall nearby," he says. "We'll just need some wood." He suggests taking wood from the old church close by, and stops him and says, "No, that wouldn't be right. This is the only church left for us to pray in. We can't destroy the house of God for wood." Hearing that, John agrees and decides not to touch it. Later, John goes into the store and starts drinking. When he doesn't come home for a long time, Anne goes out searching for him and finds him there. She brings him back home, but John, angry and drunk, says, "I can take care of myself." He then tries to force himself on her and runs away. The next morning, John comes to her and apologizes for what happened the night before, and accepts his apology. Whenever she misses her family, she goes to the church and plays the piano to feel closer to them. One day, as she comes out of the church, she sees John chopping wood. That night, Anne cooks dinner, and they share drinks together, enjoying the evening like it's a special dinner. Anne tells John, "We should be there for each other." As they talk, they grow closer, and Anne starts to develop feelings for him. She wants to spend more time with him, but John gently stops her and says, "If we do this now, it might create problems between us. Let's give it some time." The next day, Anne's dog finds a man wandering nearby. His name is Caleb. Caleb asks Anne, "Can I have some clean water to drink?" Anne takes him home. Seeing Caleb, John gets angry and points his gun at him. Anne quickly says, "He's just like us, trying to survive out here." John lowers the gun and asks Caleb, "So what's your plan?" Caleb replies, "I was planning to go to the city. I heard there might still be people alive there." John says, "You look like you've been exposed to radiation. You should rest here for a while," and gives Caleb clean clothes and some food. Caleb tells them that the situation outside is still terrible. After they eat, John turns to Anne and says angrily, "Why did you invite him here?" John didn't like Caleb's arrival at all. The next day, John and Caleb go hunting together. They make a bet to see who will shoot an animal first. Caleb jokingly says, "Whoever wins gets Anne." Hearing that, John becomes furious. That night at dinner, John tells Caleb, "We need to start generating power soon." Caleb replies, "Then we'll have to tear down the church for wood." and overhears this and assumes John told Caleb to destroy the church. John quickly denies it, saying, "I never said that. We can find another way to generate power without touching the church." Caleb insists they should start the work quickly, so the next day, they begin. But eventually, they have no choice. They're forced to take down part of the church. Caleb notices and looking sad and asks, "Why do you look upset?" and admits she feels bad about destroying the church. Caleb gently tells her, "We can pray to God from our hearts too. He won't be angry. We're still alive because of his grace." He then adds, "John doesn't trust us," and replies softly, "John's like that, but he's a good man." Seeing Anne and Caleb spending time together makes John jealous. Angry, he says to her, "If you like Caleb, then stay with him. I won't force you to be with me." And, hurt, says, "You're wrong. There's nothing between me and Caleb." The next morning, John and Anne have breakfast together. The misunderstanding between them fades, and things return to normal. That night, they have dinner, share drinks, and even dance together. John now truly loves Anne so deeply that he can't imagine life without her. Later, the three of them go to the river and play a game. They throw a bottle into the water, and whoever retrieves it first wins. While they're there, John confesses his love to Anne. She smiles and happily accepts his proposal. That night, after drinking, everyone goes to bed early, but Anne can't sleep. Still tipsy, she finds herself confused about whether to go to John or Caleb. In the end, she goes to Caleb's room, and they spend time together. The next morning, while Anne is having coffee, Caleb approaches her affectionately. Seeing his gestures, John realizes what happened between them the previous night. Later, John says to Caleb, "If you hadn't come here, it might have been harder for me to generate power. And, honestly, I'm the reason Anne came to you." Caleb smirks and says, "You're just jealous." They continue working together. Caleb holds onto a rope and slowly descends down the cliff. The other end of the rope is in John's hands. As Caleb suddenly slips and starts to fall, John quickly grabs the rope to stop him. Caleb looks up and smiles, unaware of what's going through John's mind. In that moment, a dark thought strikes John. If I let go of this rope, Caleb will die, and then there'll be no one between me and Anne. In the next scene, John returns home alone. Anne comes to him with tears in her eyes and says, that night, "I spent time with Caleb. I feel ashamed for what I did. I'm sorry." John calmly replies, "It's okay. Caleb has gone far away now," implying that he killed him. Later, John successfully generates electricity from the waterfall, and is overjoyed to see it. The two of them begin living together peacefully, appearing happy and content. And that's how the movie ends. Thank you for watching our movie recap. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing for more great content. Your support means a lot to us. Have a wonderful day.